about Taiwan? I'm Erika Liu with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's first domestically built submarine is ready to leave its dry dock for further testing. The sub, named Hsieh, was launched in September last year, but its testing phase has been delayed because of setbacks in the delivery of sensors from the U.S. The sub now has its sensors and power plant fitted, and the scaffolding around it has been removed. The ship's builder began flooding the dry dock on Sunday and says the submarine will next undergo docking tests. President Bleaching says he hopes Taiwan and the Marshall Islands can continue to strengthen their relations as he met with the delegation led by the Marshallese Speaker of Parliament, Brenson Weiss.
借这个场合，我要特别感谢瓦西议长多年来在财政部长、交通部长以及司法部长等职位上，积极协助台湾和马绍尔群岛建立更紧密的伙伴关系。
The two sides will discuss deepening exchanges on educational and agricultural development, gender equality, and climate change. The Marshall Islands is one of Taiwan's 12 official diplomatic allies and is a vocal supporter of Taiwan's participation in international organizations. As Taiwan moves towards becoming a super-age society, taking care of the elderly is increasingly falling on long-term caregivers. Chris Gorin looks at the stresses caregivers face and a government hotline meant to help.
Ms. Wong is one of many Taiwanese people acting as a long-term caregiver for their elderly parents. She's been doing so for decades and speaks frankly about how emotionally challenging it can be. A few times, she says it's brought her to a breaking point.
我那时候就是真的就是差点拿衣架，或者是看到电风扇就很想踢过去。
Authorities here are promoting a hotline handling issues for caregivers. And for the first time, the organization running it says the number of calls seeking help for stress has exceeded those asking about services and resources. It's an issue that many families in Taiwan will soon have to face. Taiwan is projected to become a super-aged society by 2025, meaning 20% of the total population will be over the age of 65. By 2070, that number is expected to jump to more than 43%. And during that same period, the share of working-aged people acting as caregivers will grow from nearly 30% to more than 83%. Authorities say they will continue to establish more offices to help caregivers.
家庭照顾者的这个据点，我们现在目前截至这一个6月，我们总共有131个据点。那我们未来会逐步的再来推动这样的一个据点。
The health ministry says it's aware that many people feel caring for their parents is their own personal responsibility, but says they should not forget their own physical or mental health. Given the pace of Taiwan's gallop into a super-aged society, it may take more than a hotline to deal with the challenges facing long-term caregivers. Justin Wu and Chris Gorin for TaiwanPlus.
Rates of some sexually transmitted infections have hit a 6-year high among teenagers in Taiwan. Authorities say increased use of dating apps and social media may be to blame. Wesley Lewis reports.
Adolescent STI cases in Taiwan have hit a 6-year high. Health authorities say the lifting of COVID-19 restrictions, paired with the increased use of dating and social media apps, are leading to more risky sexual behavior among teenagers.
年轻族群的一个性行为的一个年龄层下降，很多人在使用交友软体或是一些网络，可以很快速的联系一个彼此，口力的一个疫情趋缓，所以筛检量跟通报量都有增加。
CDC data shows that gonorrhea cases among adolescents aged 13 to 18 rose from 191 cases in 2018 to 667 cases in 2023. And syphilis cases increased from 81 cases in 2018 to 262 cases in 2023. That's a threefold increase. Childcare NGOs also report that Taiwan has higher rates of gonorrhea and syphilis compared to EU countries. Doctors warn about the symptoms and lasting effects of infection.
在男生来讲，它主要是尿道炎那有时候会引起所谓的往上会引起前列腺的这种发炎。那女生的话，就是除了尿道炎以外，也会引起子宫颈炎的发炎那甚至假如说多次感染的时候，可能会导致所谓的不孕的这种现象。
Doctors say schools should offer more comprehensive sex education to help discourage the spread of STIs. They're advising young people to practice safe sex and get tested regularly, as early treatment is the best way to prevent future complications. Hsieh and Wesley Lewis for TaiwanPlus.
Divers off southern Taiwan have found extensive coral bleaching brought on by sea temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius and above. Some of the reefs have bleached since as recently as 2 months ago, and algae growth shows that some of the coral is completely dead. It is the worst bleaching event in the area since 2020. The local Kunding National Park is asking Taiwan's National Aquarium to look at how to save affected reefs. It's the breeding season for birds in Taiwan. It's also the busy season for local wildlife rescuers, taking care of abandoned hatchlings. Our reporter Sandy Chi heads to a wildlife hospital in eastern Taiwan to find out how.
Every day, starting at 8 in the morning, the staff here at Wild One Wildlife Rescue Center get to work. It's the only non-profit wildlife rescue and recovery center in eastern Taiwan, where the majority of the country's wildlife resides. The staff cleans up after, checks up on, and feeds the animals here, which are mostly birds right now, as it's currently breeding season. Most cases the center gets now are baby birds that fell out of their nests. One concerned citizen brings in a baby nightingale that ended up in their yard and was mauled by their family dog.
因为昨天就在我们家发现一只夜莺的雏鸟，然后想说，我们没办法自己照顾，然后就上网去查了一下台东地区有没有相关的动保协会这样子，刚好就有搜寻到这个地方。
Unfortunately, the birdling didn't survive. Its wounds were too severe, and it had to be put down.
它的右边的翅膀已经是粉碎性的骨折了，然后伤口的状态不是很新鲜，然后因为后续可能会有严重感染的风险。
Not all rescued nestlings have to be put down, thanks to the center's dedicated staff, who go above and beyond to help the injured birds. To help these birds return to the wild successfully, the staff here dress up in this outfit to ensure that the birds do not become too familiar with them. This is to make sure that they still have a healthy wariness of people and will avoid them after they are released. Over the last 3 months, Wild One has received almost 80 injured baby birds. About half of them don't make it. Just under 20% have returned to the wild, and the rest are still in treatment. Though the center is seeing more and more cases, it's not necessarily because more birds are getting hurt. Wild One has hosted hundreds of activities to better educate the public on how to handle injured wild animals and where to bring them. With the help of locals, wild animals in eastern Taiwan have a better chance of survival and of returning to the wild. Alex Chen and Sandy Chi in Taitung for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's Hsieh has won her first Wimbledon mixed doubles title together with Jan Zielinski of Poland. The pair beat Mexico's Santiago Gonzalez and Giuliana Almost in 2 straight sets. Hsieh and Zielinski won another Grand Slam mixed doubles title at the Australian Open earlier this year. This win marks Hsieh's 4th straight Wimbledon doubles trophy. Students from Taiwan tied with the U.S. and China for most gold medals at this year's International Biology Olympiad held in Astana, Kazakhstan. Taiwanese competitors won 4 golds at the event, which tests pre-university students under 20 on theoretical and practical aspects of biology. The team met with President Ching-te before they left for Kazakhstan. The gold medalists will each get a government scholarship of more than $6,000 US. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, check out these 2 camels roaming in Beach in France, helping to collect trash from holidaymakers. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.
Thank you for watching TaiwanPlus News. For more stories from Taiwan and around the rest of the world, please visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow us on social media.